and Delight. We bring in wonderful topics for your delight every weekday. And if it's your first time of watching this program, just stay glued to the TV and you surely love the program. My name is Akinlabi Toluwalashe. As usual, I'm not the only one here. I have wonderful faces with me this morning. I have Abiodun, John, and Abigail. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy midweek.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy midweek.
How you doing, Abigail?
I'm good though. Thank God for life.
It's your first time of being on set this week.
You know, yeah, last week was tedious, a little bit tedious, but I think I have gotten enough rest for the 2 days to substitute for last
I'm
week.
trying to get that tedious.
Every rushing to come to set and trying to wrap your head about what being the first time. Wrap my head around what I'll say and everything, so that someone will not flop at the end. But we thank God.
So now you're in a relaxed
And
mode.
last week, coming this morning, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Unlike last week, I'm like, hey.
Don't relax too much. In the next 2 weeks, you're still hosting.
So I thank God. I thank God for last week. I'm grateful to God for last week. And this week I'll set again this morning. Thank God. Give glory to God.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
John, how you doing?
I'm great.
How was it this morning?
Fine.
On
Everything's
the road.
fine. Looking forward to a fruitful day, and also looking forward to wrap up some things I needed to do this morning.
Okay.
So-
Hope the road was not stressful this morning.
Not really.
Okay. Abiodun, how you doing?
I'm fine. I thank God for life and I bless God. And this week I've been humming earlier than
That's good. We love that.
so bless God I'm here today.
And let me say it on set. I said it off camera. So let me say it in front of camera. The building looks beautiful today. She look ravishing. Supposed to take DP and put it on social media. She have a lot of likes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for that. All right, moving on to the next segment, which is the newspaper review segment for this morning. I have the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, the first headline here says, Army court sends Major General Mohammed to 7 years in prison, orders refund of $2.1 million, 1.65 billion naira. You can read that story on page 29. Ayedatiwa appeals to as Ondo Court strikes out case to halt his impeachment. You can read that story on page 16. 5.4 million electorate to vote in Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa states. That's from INEC. You can read that story on page 5. IMF comments bold reforms in Nigeria. You can read that story on page 7. Silva appeals ruling disqualifying him from Bayelsa Guba race. You can read that story on page 16. On crude oil theft. Senate to probe security forces militia groups. You can read that story on page 5. Nigerian employer pays over 60 different taxes annually. That's from NECA. You can read that story on page 6. NECO releases 2023 SSCE results, withholds over 12,000 results to sanction 93 schools for mass cheating. You can read that on page 5. Death toll hits 1,830 as Israel-Palestine war reaches day 4. The story is on page 21. Import volume crashes by 60% at Lagos port. Jobs may be affected. You can read that story on page 10. Contractors in gang up against FG over policy on asphalt. You can read that. Okay, that's from Works Minister. Compromised staff will be flushed out, sent to ICPC, it says. You can read the story on page 26. Reps to probe use of foreign currencies for domestic transactions in Nigeria. Tell CBN to stabilize Naira against dollar, other currencies. You can read that story on page 8. And the photo news on the Nigerian Tribune is of the former President Goodluck Jonathan, a member of the West African Elders Forum mediation mission in Monrovia during his visit to some polling stations as Liberians vote during the country's general election on Tuesday. That's all from the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, I have with me this morning the Vanguard newspaper, and the headlines for this morning are: IMF raises alarm over rising inflation. We can read that on page 19. Clark decries deplorable state of roads in South-South. You can read that on page 12. FG to cut number of taxes to 9. We can read that on page 8. General jailed 7 years by Army Court Martial. You can read that on page 6. I didn't forge my certificates by Atiku. You can read that on page 33. Now, another side of the story of the Israel-Palestinian war. Israel-Hamas war. FG halts pilgrimage as Lagos airlifts 310 from Jerusalem. Israel pounds Gaza despite threats to kill hostages. Death toll exceeds 1,900 as oil prices surge. Conflict taking Herodias toll on children by UNICEF. We can read that on page 5. Insecurity will help Nigeria overcome banditry, kidnapping, Boko Haram by European Union. We can read that on page 9. Why court disqualified Bayelsa APC candidate Silva? We can read that on page 21 of the Vanguard newspaper. NECA to federal government. Begin plans for minimum wage review. We can read that on page 8. Bad roads. FG gives contractors 14-day ultimatum. Whoa. We can read that also on page 8. And this is a notice by Debt Management Office Nigeria. The 2023 Sovereign Sukuk, don't miss out, offer closes today. That's an announcement by the Debt Management Office of Nigeria. And that's all this morning from the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, thank you, Abigail.
All right, I have with me the Punch newspaper. I'll just pick some news that
we've not read.
that you've not read.
All right.
Forex crisis. Naira plunges to 1,025 naira per dollar. Job losses. Factory shutdown looms. Forex crisis hinders raw material procurement. Causes financial problem. NECA. SMEs decry impending shutdown. Reps probes headline. Schools demanding dollars. You can find all the stories on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Senate condemns 2.3 trillion oil theft, probe security agents. You can find the story on page 29. Inflation to slow Nigerians' growth to 2.9%, says IMF. You can find the story on page 22. Flood kills 45, displaced 1,071,545 persons in 13 states. NEMA. You can find the story on page 8. 18 parties jostles for 5.4 million votes in Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa. I find the story on page 8. And that's all from the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, thank you, ladies, for that. I would love to read this sideline on the Nigerian Tribune. One Shedrack Mumenma, 36, in Zambia, allegedly committed suicide earlier this month after he was caught red-handed for the second time by his wife while having sex with another woman. What a self-imposed judgment carried too far, charged. You know, he had to, because of what he had done, so he had to just give himself, but that judgment is just too far.
It's too extreme.
Because he felt,
it's too extreme.
I don't know, he felt he would just do that in order to let the wife know that he actually regretted his action, but that was too far. I believe the woman even would
Expect
never
that.
want him dead,
Yes.
despite what he has done. So that's
Just too pathetic.
all right. Moving on to the next segment, which is the sports segment, and Olowo Filashio is standing by to give us sports update for this morning. Good morning, Shio.
Yeah, good morning. Quick one on the sport roundup this morning. As you know, clubs are not active this week as international break is on, and as we'll be having our Super Eagles who will be active this weekend and of course on Monday. Awazim replaces Collins ahead of Super Eagles friendlies. Chidozie Awazim has been called up as replacement for Jamilu Kalu ahead of Super Eagles international friendly against Saudi Arabia. Of course, my director is showing another thing. That is not the picture as it stands now. Against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique. Of course, due to injury, Collins has withdrawn from the 25-man squad list that was released by the Super Eagles on Monday, of course, and he has been replaced with another player, Tyrone Eboy, of course, and another player that has been invited is Umar Sadiq. Of course, Taiwa Woni has also withdrawn from the squad due to injury, and Sadiq Umar has been called up to fill that gap in that one. Of course, Nigeria will be playing Saudi Arabia on Friday, 13th October, in Portugal, and on Monday they'll be facing Mozambique in the friendlies. Both games will be played in Portugal, and meanwhile, Portuguese officials will be active, will be in action for the two games in that one, and FIFA have already approved the two referees and other assistant referees that will participate, that will officiate those matches in that one. And the matches will be played in Portugal, just like I said, and of course we'll bring you the reports as they come. The Super Falcons, just like the Super Eagles squad that was released, then on Monday also Super Falcons squad announced the 22-player roster ahead of the Super Falcons 2024 Women's Olympic Football Tournament qualification fixtures that they are going to play against Ethiopia. Liverpool alum Rinso and Babajide have received a first call-up to the Super Falcons after FIFA approved a request to change our association from England to Nigeria. That Babajide was a member of the Young Lioness squad that won the bronze medal at the 2018 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, but she has now switched allegiance to play for Nigeria. Now, and of course, Houston Dash fullback Michel Alozie and Paris Saint-Germain defender Nico Payne and her sister Tony Payne and the Barcelona forward whose birthday was yesterday, Assistant Oshola, has also been invited, and Paris goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie have all been called up to be part of that game. Of course, don't let's forget that Nigeria last participated in the Olympics in 2020, 2004, and year 2008. That was the last time the Super Falcons participated in Olympics. They are hoping to qualify again for 2024 Olympics, provided they are able to scale through that game and they beat Ethiopia in that qualifier. Now, in the home league game, the MPFL are moved to curb ball boys' time wasting antics. Of course, one of the negative antics covertly deployed by the home teams whenever they are playing is for the boy to run down the clock so that the home games could win that, home teams rather, could win that game. They will be delaying the ball to be thrown to the opposition. But the MPF, they have moved to curb that, and of course, any club that is found guilty will be sanctioned and they may face penalty in that one. And still on the local league, the Rangers, they have signed jersey sponsorship with Afrivest in that one. Nigerian Premier League, Football League club, Enugu Rangers, they have signed jersey sponsorship with the finance advisory firm Afrivest. The sponsorship agreement was signed yesterday at the base in Enugu. Of course, according to the Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Honorable Lloyd Ekweremadu, the partnership contract included a provision of jerseys and training kits worth 50 million naira with clauses for the future in that one. Of course, it's a good one. We are seeing other companies, international companies, liaising and partnering with our local league in that one. So that, of course, that's part of the improvement and development we are looking for in our local league. Rivers United will be playing their CAF Confederation Cup games in Uyo. Of course, the Rivers United played their Confederation Cup home at the Godswin Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo. Of course, that's what CAF approved for them against their home stadium in Port Harcourt, Adoke Amesimaka Stadium in Port Harcourt. The CAF said they will no longer be using that as they don't want that stadium. Of course, they now approve Uyo Stadium, which is Godswin Akpabio International Stadium, that their matches will be played. Of course, Rivers United lost 2-0 on aggregate to Young Africans in Tanzania in their last season. They are looking forward to be the first Nigerian team to win a CAF Confederation Cup. We wish them all the best as they go on in that one. Then in the AFCON 2023 AFCON final draw, which will happen Thursday, tomorrow, preparations are already on ground for that one. On October 12th, Thursday, in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, who are going to be the host of the AFCON 2023. The draw will be held in that one. And of course, that is when we also will know who will be facing Nigeria in 2023 AFCON that will happen in Cote d'Ivoire next year, and also the officials and the teams, and also all the dignitaries that will participate in AFCON. They will be unveiled tomorrow at that draw in Abidjan. We'll bring the reports as they unfold. Then Eden Hazard have announced his retirement from professional football at 32. Eden Hazard, he posted on his Instagram yesterday. He said, and I quote, "You must listen to yourself and say stop at the right time. After 16 years and more than 700 matches played, I have decided to end my career as a professional footballer. I was able to realize my dream. I have played and had fun on many pitches around the world. During my career, I was lucky to meet great managers, coaches, and teammates. Thank you to everyone for these great times, and of course for enjoying football." And he says he's going to miss football. That is from Eden Hazard. He's just 32, and he says he has to listen to his body, and so he has to retire from international football. Any professional football, both country and for club. Wish him all the best in his future endeavor in that one. Let us forget that Eden Hazard played for Ligue 1 team, Lille, and of course after then he want to play for Chelsea, and of course at the end of the day he's retiring at Real Madrid, where he last played his club football in that one. And lastly, in golf, LIV Golf loses bid to earn world ranking point at its event. Of course, the LIV Golf is, according to the world ranking body, they said LIV Golf is playing only for cash, not world ranking point. After they discovered that one, and of all LIV Golf are not happy with that decision in that one. They said they are solely playing professionally, as they have ultimate and professional golf players in their league. But they are saying, the organizing body are saying that players are running to Saudi-based league tour so that they can make money. But they said the reverse is the case. They are still going to press further to make sure that they submit another bid in that one. That is all for me for now.
All right, thank you, Oluwafulashio, for that sports update. Moving on to the next segment, which is the wisdom segment by the wise old man, Pastor Lumo. Good morning, sir.
Happy Wednesday, oh. We thank God for sparing our life. I'm so happy to be here again. Today is the 11th day in the month of October. We give God all the glory. You see, I remember Solomon, in case you are meeting me for the first time. The Bible is my watchword. Today, Wednesday, the word of wisdom I have for you, my children. More is lost by indecision than wrong decision. I'm not confusing you. Just watch carefully and read it carefully. They have displayed it already. More is lost by indecision than wrong decision. You will never know this, but I am telling you this morning, you have lost so many things through indecision. Even if you make wrong decision, you know. You will know what you will now have opportunity to redirect yourself. But indecision have made you to lose so many things. Indecision. You cannot decide. You are confused. You are in doubt. When you are in doubt, when you are undecided, how will I put it? I hope I'm not speaking wrong grammar. When you fail to decide, it means you don't even try. People that have tried, they are the ones that could make wrong decision because they have attempted it, they have tried it. But you are undecided. It means you did not even try at all. You are just looking it afar and then you just decided not to. Or you don't even know which one to. You see? The woman you're supposed to marry, you are in love, you don't know. Even when God shows yourself, you don't know. You cannot decide. You don't even know what you want. When you don't know what you want, that is when you cannot even decide. But people that knows what they want, even when they go for it and they make mistake or maybe it turns to be a wrong decision, they will have to readjust. But I'm telling you this morning, you have lost so many things because of indecision. A lot of people have died because of indecision. You are driving, you saw trailer, you don't know whether to go right or to go left or to stop. Indecision. Till the death meets you there. Death will not meet you there in the name of Jesus. You have lost so many opportunities because you cannot decide. You have opportunity to choose from A to B and C. And they gave you an ultimatum, they gave you a deadline. Because you cannot decide, you lost the opportunity. My children, today Wednesday, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know it's somebody that is watching me right now. I want you to leave the spirit of, make sure that you bind the spirit of indecision out of your life. If you want to do something, decide. If you want to go to A, decide. You want to go to B, decide. If it turns out to be bad or to be a wrong decision, you can still adjust. You are still alive. You still have opportunity to redirect yourself. More is lost by indecision than wrong decision. Wrong decision can be bad sometimes. It can be so devastating. But you still have opportunity. It is even better than people that did not even try at all. It is better. God will help you, my children. That is the word of wisdom for today. I remember Solomon and the Bible is my watchword. Make sure that the Bible is your watchword. Till tomorrow, Thursday, we shall see so. Bye.
All right, thank you, Pastor Solomon, for that wise advice for this morning. More is lost in indecision than making wrong decisions. Thank you for that. All right, today being 11th of October 2023, it's a day for International Day of the Girl Child. And this year's theme is Invest in Girls' Rights, our leadership, our well-being. And we have in the studio Ambassador Mark Akonde is a child's rights advocate. He's the CEO of Society for Human Advancement and Creativity Organization, and is also a member of Lagos State Child Protection Network, and is a trained officer on child rights law. So we'll be discussing International Day of the Girl Child with him this morning. We actually spoke with him on the phone yesterday concerning the issue of a 6-year-old girl that was defiled in Naoa Nursery Primary School in Badagry, and is in the studio today to share with us some of the information we need to know concerning what happened to his daughter, and also on International Day of a Girl Child. You're welcome, and thanks for joining us, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, we've discussed so much about what happened yesterday, and I would want to say again that our heart goes out to you, and I pray that God will make you get justice. So, first of all, let's talk about the International Day of the Girl Child. You've been part of, I've known you as somebody who usually advocates for a girl child, for education, educate a child, educate a girl child, and all that. So I would want to know why you actually choose this course, why you actually choose to be an advocate for such.
Thank you very much. You know, some time ago when I came here, this question was also asked, why am I into advocacy? I looked at it. My story is long, and you know, circumstance most times will prompt you to take a decision so that that can help the society. My situation happened to be that at stage when I was growing up, I lacked the parental care, so it was not there. I would have been a wayward person, I would have been a criminal, I would have been all that. But you know, I was opportune. Okay, let me put it this way so that the story can flow well. At the age of 1 year, my parents divorced. So it means that it's either I stay with my mother or I stay with my father. But this never happened. I have to stay with my great-grandmother because my grandmother was dead. So in between, by the time I got to my 3, my father came to pick me because at that time, my great-grandmother also died. So I came to start living in the barrack because then my father happened to be a soldier. Now, living in the barracks, I know all sort of things that happen within the barrack environment. Now, and then by the time I'm done with my secondary school, I begin to look at, okay, fine, what do I do? Though it was the period of pushing for my diploma, I got to, you know, getting myself engaged with church activities and all that, because that happens seriously when we talked about the church. I'm not talking about what the church are actually doing now that is wrong. I'm talking about the right thing that church actually did in my own life. In 1994, I happened to meet somebody introduced me to Christ, and that changed the narrative. Like I said at the beginning, I would have been somebody that is brutal, hostile, and is wayward to the society. But then it started like that. So in that process, when I began to engage in church activities and leadership, I said, no, it's not going to be only me. Now, the only way for me to discover more of myself is by engaging in service for others. So I started a program. I started a program from the church. From the church, when I was done with my diploma, I said, okay, fine. I think we can actually start an organization known as Shako. And then when I came back, after my diploma, I moved into, the university. While in the university, it was there, we now officially started Shako as as a movement, that now transformed into an NGO. So that is that. Now, there are things that actually make up. The father was not there. Which I thought of, that, okay, if at this my tender age, I'm able to gather my mates and talk to them, provide leadership to them, and then bring in people that serve like a role model, that can always talk to us, I would have succeeded in changing my own life and also changing that of others. That is what we did. So by the time I'm done with the university, I say, fine, I don't need to abandon the project. I need to continue with it by reaching out to people. All through the line, I'll be able to learn one or two things that I can also impart. So why still reaching out to people that are also role model in the field? So that is how the whole thing all started. And God has been our grace all through. Now, in 2016, we now decided to just, okay, let us coin it to educate a child. That was when we brought in the likes of Dr. Joe Odumakin into the Educate a Child project. What we have been doing is that we look for children. Remember, my parents was not there. They were not there. So for me, God helped me to go through school to maneuver. Now, it is now, I know the challenges. So we now begin to look for children that are also having that challenges and enrolling them to schools. We have been able to enroll a lot of children into school. Some of the pictures I sent to you, there's a particular, that is a school in Ogba where they pay 200,000 and we gave her free scholarship all through from SS1 to SS3. Understand? So we now begin to look for schools that share same value with us. How did you do it? I published the Heroes Mind magazine. I said, okay, fine. Help us to enroll this child in your school. We'll run advert all through the period that the child will be in your school. We'll run free advert for you. And they agreed. So we'll now begin to pick people here and there. Even some of them still went ahead and they provide uniform, they provide books, just because it's not really the advert a thing, but they were willing to what? To contribute. So that is exactly what happened. So the Educate a Child project began to run. And when you begin to see result of what you are doing, automatically you want to, continue. So in between, we discovered that the Nigerian society itself give more preference to a male child. Give more preference. And look at it, this is madness. It's all pure madness that we are practicing. I've seen a family where the woman gave birth to 5 girls, and the man is seriously mad at the woman. I say, this is madness. Understand? Because the truth is that the greatness you are looking for in a man, you can actually get it times 2 in a woman. Now, a man earned the money. To be frank, I can't remember how often I send money to my dad. But my sister will always do that because women are more passionate. Women are more concerned about our responsibility will be, let me take care of my wife, let me take care of my children, let me just meet up with, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the women will say, okay, out of what I've collected from my husband, I said, okay, let me send something back home. Understand? Because the truth is that they are the ones that manage the home. Yes. They know more on how to distribute the resources. They may be on your neck as a man to say, okay, bring this, bring that, bring that. But once it gets to their hand, they know how to actually apportion it to the right channels and so on and so forth. So they are good managers. So what the society needs to do is to invest in them, is to encourage them. For example, you have a society where women are almost 1/3, and then they are not involved in management. Understand? You are not investing in them. You want them to, because there's this notion that women, the education of a woman end in the kitchen. But it's not really like that. We have seen a lot of people in Liberia. The former president of Liberia happened to be a woman. and she did well. So Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the DG of this, she's doing well. So these are, so parents should invest in Get Child so that they can get 150% return. Understand? If you are looking at a return of 100% from a male child, I can assure you that you will get 150% return from a female child because they are passionate.
All right, thank you for that. You really somehow told us about why it is important to celebrate a girl child, today being the International Day of the Girl Child. So let's look at the theme for this year. You know, the girl child is, will I say, they are the most affected people when it comes to sexual abuse. And it's one of the things we discussed yesterday. And this theme is talking about, is saying, invest in girls' rights, our leadership, our well-being. So I want you to tell us more about this year's theme.
Now, when you talked about investing in girls' rights, you looked at what are those rights. The same right that the boys have is the same right that the girls have. The right to education, the right to survival, the right to development, the right to protection. Now, if you, as a parent, as a government, as a society, an organization, decide to neglect this right, it's going to bounce back at you. You see people, you say, oh, we have prostitutes in the society. It's because at one point or the other, the right of this, when they were girls, were neglected. Understand? Just as you have for the boys, and you say, oh, this person is a criminal, it's because their right at a particular point, understand, are actually neglected. Like I said, I would have been a criminal, understand, if Christ was not involved. Because the background, the environment was not a right environment. Now, so it means that you that have a girl in your house, you should know that you should be able to teach the girl how to sit, how to greet, how to do things, understand, that are morally sound, so that, and then at the age of getting to school, you should be able to enroll the girl into school. You should be able to provide care for that girl to be able to develop. When we are talking about a girl child, we are not asking for a separate thing. We are not saying, oh, you have to go to the moon and bring the same care that you are giving to the boy, give that same opportunity to the girl. That's just what it is. And because when you now begin to segregate, you now begin to discriminate. Oh, this is a boy. I love this boy. Because it's a boy, the father will say, and I've seen more women even segregating than the men. They would rather prefer to do everything in favor of the boy child and neglect their own girl, concerned child. For example, practically of recent, I took some school uniforms to a fashion designer to sew. I said, okay, just make it equal. And by the time she started sewing, she already sewed about 20 for boys. And the girls, but I got there, he said, it's only 10. I said, why? But you are a woman. Are you not supposed to even care for the women first? Before the girls first, before you start talking about the boys? So I don't know. Our society have been programmed that we give all preference to the boy. But if you check the Bible, Caleb did something. Caleb, after he captured the mountain, and they said, give me this mountain. When he captured that mountain, and he began to share portion, the Bible says he gave portion to his daughter. So as he share properties, it equally is shared to the daughter. So you shouldn't say, oh, it's not written anywhere that when you are sharing inheritance, you are sharing property, you want to develop. No, you shouldn't give to the girl. Okay. No. It's there in the Bible. And the Bible should be our template in everything we are doing. So I want to encourage that at home, at work, the leadership we are talking about is that we should give equal opportunities to the girls, so that they can exhibit their full potentials.
Thank you.
All right. Also on the theme of this year, we have investment in our leadership. You know, some tribes in Nigeria, they always, as in society, they always say a girl child is a weaker vessel. She cannot lead. She's not supposed to be at the lead front of saying or something. How can you advise people that they should always make sure that they should work on investing on their leadership, so that they'll be able to speak out? Because some places you will see that when a lady is trying to talk, they'll just say, you don't have anything to say. They shut her down and say, let the boys talk. You don't have anything to say. How can we work on that?
Now, I need to, practically I'll give an example. My role model, Dr. Joe Kildumakin, she joined activism way back. And it's on record that she has been to prison over 17 times. Now, from the detention, what I'm trying to bring out is that I've not seen a man that have been to prison 17 times and still maintain a stand of activism, of standing and talking and fighting for the right of people. This is a woman. And today, that was in 2013, she was recognized as about 100 people were recognized across the world. She was one of them that was given an award in the United States as Woman of Courage. This is somebody that have stand in the gap over the years. So what I'm trying to say is this. I think we have given too much room to negative perspective, negative narration. We actually need to start celebrating people, women that are doing well, so that the younger ones can see them and say, okay, this is my role model. If this person can, there's this lady, what was her name, that died,
the pilot.
The pilot. Tolu. Thank you. Tolu was known in the military as a slayer, she kills, what they call it, these Boko Harams, like any other thing. She was well trained, she knows her job, she knows what to do, so she was an expert. You understand what I'm trying to say? So these are people that we should talk about, so that the girl that is just growing up can see a role model. But when we allow the male to keep on narrating the negative story, it will bring their morale. It will bring their exposure. It will reduce their level of enthusiasm to say, okay, I want to actually do this. You understand? So we need to actually start projecting people that can serve as a role model.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm looking at International Day for the Girl Child, which is a day organized by UNICEF. And what is the significance of this day in aspect of the, when I think it's majorly on the girl child? What's the significance? What impact has been made so far? What is the significance that has been made so far?
Now, thank you so much. One of it is what we are doing here. Creating a platform for advocacy. Creating a platform to create awareness. So that in 2020, when I was arrested and coming back, a few days to the International Day of the Girl, we still went ahead. I sent the pictures. We still went ahead and had the program. We invited women from all walk of life, and they were there. Now, so that we brought Professor Bakari, the woman from Lagos State University, one of the contestants for Vice Chancellor then, though she was not taken. so that young people can see. Because what, they say women most time believe in what they see. Understand? What they hear.
What they hear.
Abi? What they hear.
What they hear.
What they hear. So we brought somebody like that so that they can talk to people, talk to young girls, and then in that, so that they can be motivated. So that is what the day is all about. It's celebration, marking the day, creating awareness, sustain the advocacy so that people around can actually get more information about the need of sustaining girl right.
Thank you. So, sorry, Tolu. Looking at the aspect of the team, it says the girls' child rights, leadership, and our well-being. So now, what is UNICEF putting down in place to look at the well-being of the girl child?
Now, you look at this. UNICEF itself created a platform. So, we that owns an NGO is for us to pick, like you own a school and there is a scheme of work. You pick the scheme of work and run with it. So we are the one running, is the NGO that are running with it. Now, just like your platform, you can actually write to them and say, okay, you want to have a program of this nature. They can actually provide one support or the other as the case may be. So, but be that as it may, I don't really think that the job should be left to UNICEF alone. We should look at our government. How many female ministers do we have? Because this is systematic suppression of the larger population. When you have a larger population of women that are supposed to be involved to be able to project the society, you deprive them of that opportunity of getting engaged in leadership. And then you want to give them, you now bring more of male to design for them what they want. How, just imagine, how can the men that are few design for the women that are more? We should be able to have an encouraging percentage of women in governance so that when policy are being made, they will be able to represent the interests of their colleagues. And then by so doing, this policy can be properly implemented across, not only in government, even in religious cycle. Understand? There are some churches that will not even allow a female to step at the altar. Please, and the other religion like that, please, because this is educative program,
Yes.
and then we should be able to cut it across to other religion. They don't even want women to even be seen. You have a situation whereby women are being relegated. They don't want to see. They want you to be covered. That is barbaric.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay. We have some people now agitating for equal rights.
Yeah.
Equal rights, and it's been tagged feminism. Do you also support that?
No, equal right is not feminism. Equal right is about,
some people are tagging it that they are feminists, being agitators for equal rights, having the men, if you're giving the men this, we should also have this, so it should be equal.
No, they are, it becomes, when they get to the extent of becoming a fanatics, that is where you can target feminism. But when you are talking about, there are things that ought to be equal, provide equal opportunities. Like here now, thank God, it's more of,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
maybe because today is today is International Day of the International Day of the Girl Child. International Day of the Girl
Girl
Child.
child.
But if you see check through the studio and all that, you still see that we have more of men. But what I'm trying to say is that is provide the opportunity for a male and a female to be able to showcase their talent. Understand? They should not be judged on the basis of their sex. They should be judged on the basis on their potentials, what they can do, their capability. Understand? See a lady handling a camera, which most time across Lagos too, I've seen what they call it, a female driving, doing commercial driving. Also, they are coming out. So once you create this kind of environment, that is not having like a traditional restriction. What we are talking against is traditional restriction. Let it be that, oh, I want to do this, but I find that I cannot do it. Understand? Not that you cannot do it. Not say, oh, we don't have women becoming pilot, so, and maybe a girl child will say, oh, I want to be a pilot, and the father will say, no, you cannot be a pilot because we have not seen anything. What they call it, Florence Nightingale. You know, if you read the story of Florence Nightingale, you know how it started. She chose to be a nurse, and because nurses were not meant for people of prominence. But the moment she get in, she was able to change the narrative. So women should be allowed to compete without restriction, equal opportunity. In fact, they should be encouraged, just as we have in those days. Maybe I don't know if it's still applicable in those days. Where
we don't really have much time, so I want you to just give your final word, like an advice to our viewers at a few seconds.
Okay, final advice. Really, you know, you asked a question concerning my rape daughter.
Yeah.
Now, my advice is this: parents, guardians should not keep quiet.
Yeah.
If you find out that there's anything that is wrong with your daughter, the first point of call, they'll tell you, you should go to police station. Police, yes, police is actually, they are not medical practitioners.
Okay.
So they will not be able to ascertain whether it occurred or not.
Okay.
So, but there's a center in Lagos State now that I know that they will not compromise.
Okay, tell us about the center because of our time.
Mirabel Center.
Okay.
Also, take your child to Mirabel Center. Okay. Then you can now go to police station and get your report.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Welcome.
We really appreciate your presence. All right, viewers, this is how far we can go on today's program. Please celebrate your girl child. It is important. All right, you can watch the repeat broadcast at 10 p.m. Then we'll give you fresh episode tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.